loaded up and headed west this morning to far western Kansas. I got the big gooseneck 30-foot trailer on today, and we're going after pretty, extremely rare, hard to find international tractor. We'll share more once we get there, but we got about 2-hour drive west this morning. It's not currently running. It was parked 10 years ago, I think. So we'll have to get it up and running again and on the deck and head it home. But we'll get there and update you some more. Well, we made it to the middle of nowhere, Kansas. What we're after's in this old Quonset. So we'll get in there, see what we got. But also notable, this really cool old Ford F5 over here. I think it was here the last time when I looked at this tractor. Damn, it's a cool old girl. Yellow paint was pretty rust free. Bed's nice. Just love them old grain trucks too. I got the doors open and surprise, this isn't what we're here for. But that's a pretty good looking 6030. Couple of grain carts. 1293 corn head. Pretty well optioned 6030. 2 remotes, PTO, 3-point. Huh. Sold one of these for a buddy. His was on 30.5, 32. But pretty cool. But we're gonna get, what we're after is actually behind the corn head, back in there. So I guess I gotta find my way back to it now. Wonder if I can fit. Yeah, I can fit through here. Okay. There's an aero converted corn head to set due Milo actually, so that's kind of cool. That's what we're after. Still not sure how I'm gonna get to it. Look at this really, really nice looking 403 International Combine though. I think he said somebody was interested in it. It could be for sale, but about a 15-foot-ish head on the front of it. I don't even know what these have in them for a motor. Probably like a 263 would be my guess. Just based on year and whatnot. Ooh, Minneapolis Mowing G6 back in here too. Yeah, I'd say that's a 6-cylinder 263 gas, so kind of cool. It's a really nice original looking G6 Mini. Propane or diesel? Diesel. That's kind of cool, but we're gonna figure out how to get over to the tractor I'm here for. Not entirely sure at the moment. Go this way. Here it is. It's a 1456 International. And if you look really close, right there, you can see some special words. This tractor is a 1456 Gold Demo International. Sold new at the IH dealer in Atwood, Kansas. Got belly tank, cab obviously, and it's, if you look up underneath the hood, get light here, it is very gold. So that's a 1456 Gold Demo. The side stripe's laying up in the cab, I do know that. Yeah, it's laying over there, so it's thankfully all here. I think that cover there is here. There's an empty PBR can in the cab, so it's like I've already been here. Unfortunately, somebody cut the axles off at some point in his life. Was told it was used to feed cattle for quite a while, so probably trying not to hit bunk lines and whatnot. But so we got a tire to air up over there. It's a 3-point tractor. Looks like somebody put a dual PTO in it sometime in his life, which is pretty darn common on this sort of thing. But we'll figure out how to get to the other side. There's a third link for it laying there, so that's great. Sorry it's dark in here, guys, but it's what you get to work with. Yeah, looks like we're good to get my air compressor back in here to air up the tire. Yeah, still factory, original diamond cab, dual remotes. It's like a Willys Jeep hub. That's kind of interesting. 1456 gold demo. And obviously most of us know that these got repainted at some time in their life, but you can see underneath the peeling turbo decal is gold. Got some paint this in there. But belly tank's really cool. That's hard to get a hold of. Sheet metal's pretty darn straight looking overall. I don't know if you can somehow get the gold back out of these, but we might try. But we're gonna get this thing up and running today, hopefully. Get all this cornhead and grain cart out of the way and get this girl out of here. I think he said it'd been 10 years since it ran last, at least. So it'll be a fun time. Let's see if I can get open this cab door up here. I don't remember how many hours on it. I think it's over 10,000, which is pretty common in western Kansas to have high hour stuff like that. But yeah, there's the side cover there, and she is very, very gold. So that is awesome. Yeah. Bud Light cans and Pabst Blue Ribbon cans, and it does have the right seat in it. It's got the black dash surround like a gold demo should have. So it is pretty much everything I've ever dreamed of. Honestly, quite a find. Yeah, it reads 800 some odd hours, so over 10,000 for sure, which isn't, I mean, it's a western Kansas tractor, so they got used, got hours, and it might have been broken for a while too. But you crawl out the other door of this cab here. Watch out for the PBR cans. God, those steps are narrow. But yeah, we're gonna go get some batteries in here. I got new battery cables to hook up so we can run them both 12 volt. I'm gonna get the fuel system bled, check oil and stuff like that, and see if she'll fire up for us today. I don't see it why it won't, honestly. I've done worse. So the plan here is just to get this running. I've got two brand new 12 volt slim batteries. These things are set up for 6 volt in series, but I'm gonna swap, most of these old tractors I swapped to double 12s in parallel, just better, they crank better. I got new battery cables to put on too, just so we know we're good there. And so I'm gonna run 2 positives to the starter solenoid and 2 new ground wires, and then I'll get batteries mounted up in here. We'll go through and prime the fuel system out, and after we do that, I'll crawl up in the cab and hopefully it starts. That's pretty much it. It's diesel, so not too hard, but we're gonna start in pulling battery cables off now and get this thing set up for new batteries. So I need to look up, I have a sheet somewhere with the list of dealers in Kansas that are junk case or IH dealers that have existed in Kansas over the years. Need to look and see what the name of the dealer was in Atwood in 1970 when this was sold new. But as most IH guys know, and if you don't know IH, every dealer got a demo tractor to test out. These gold ones were demonstrators in 1970 to help move the last of the 56 series inventory before the 66 series came out. So a lot of the western Kansas dealers, because there's big open country, got big tractors. They got 1456s. A few around here might have got 1026 hydros, but hydros really weren't it in western Kansas. Guys were after high horsepower. I know the tractor from Stockton, Kansas was a 826 gold demo, because I know the guys that bought that tractor new. And then like Rao implement in Norton, Kansas was a 1456 Gold demo. And my neighbor actually is the one that had that new in 1970. And he ran it for at least a year on the farm before it actually got painted red. So it was gold for a while because he needed something to take to the field. So that's just kind of some insight into the gold demo program. You couldn't get an 856 in gold and you couldn't get a 756 in gold, but you could get 826, 656, and 544 and 1026 in gold demos. So we'll get this mounted up. You know, shut it off. Here.
Looks like it was Jensen's in Atwood.
Oh, okay. So there's no doubt this is a 1456 gold demo. I mean, you can see that 100% for sure. So pretty darn cool. And it's got the, you know, the way you see this is the gold under the hood. It says demonstrator right there. And then also on the dash here, but you can see the demonstrator lettering. You can also in the cab very, very easily tell that's a black dash tractor. And black dash means gold demo because they were normally red. And this guy actually reached out to me about wanting to sell this tractor. Truthfully, this is the second tractor of his I have. My 5488 gold demo, or not 50, my 5488 front wheel assist was theirs at one point in time. They sold it to a neighbor, and then that neighbor traded into Central Plains Equipment in Goodland, and that's where I bought it. So they used to own my 5488 as well, so that's kind of an odd deal that I have a couple of their tractors now. And again, Western Kansas tractor, so dry climate, so I'm not real worried about rust or anything like that. The thing's being frozen up. And it's been sitting inside, obviously. The air filter there, I think, said 1998 on it. So who knows what that story is. But everyone knows when the service lasts or anything. But we're not going to run it real long today. Just enough to get it running and get it out of here. And on the trailer. Not too much wrenching involved here, really. Hopefully on something like this. Go through bleed the fuel system, which I've done before. And it might still be pretty primed, you never know. I've seen tractors sit for 20 years and light off like nothing. So, all the washers and stuff like that were good. I don't know, we might be working on the find of a lifetime. It's pretty darn cool. Any way you spin it, really. I don't know where I find another 1456 full demo. Starter stuck.
Ah, that would.
Oh, I see why. I'm down. That's why. That's why it was. We know it's not loose, or no, it's not stuck now. I think I've actually got my cables so they're arcing across the solenoid. That's exactly what I did. Hey man. That is exactly what I did. Damn. Just damn. It happens when you're working in. We know it's not stuck. That would explain why it was throwing sparks a minute ago when I was trying to hook things up at least. Makes me feel a little better. Somebody's gonna say, don't hammer on your battery post. Go to the other side.
Woof.
Did I just hook up backwards? What's up with this battery?
Need a light?
Yep, I'm dumb. Very, very dumb. Might delete that part out.
That's okay. You can do that.
Works better if you hook the battery cables up the right way. The first time. Watch out. That's a little better. My phone's ringing. Jared Reed. I don't know who that is. Don't care. I'm busy, Jared.
Take that part out too.
I'm busy. Call out phone number. Okay. Next. Bleeder. Bleed to there. Yeah, so we're gonna go through bleed this thing now. We know it cranks, obviously. So we're gonna undo that one, make sure we got fuel there. Undo this one, make sure we got fuel there. Then lastly, make sure we got fuel to the pump. If I have to, I'll bleed the injectors, but I'd rather not. So we're gonna grab a 7/16, I believe. Yep, fuel's on. Looks like I might have to put some fuel in it. I'll go find something to dip in the tank. Oh, somebody's already rounded that off for me before. Okay. I forgot this thing had a belly tank on it, but that's really cool because belly tanks are rare. I've seen them make some stupid money before. More than I paid for whole tractors. Let's go with that. Not more than I paid for this tractor though. Now, am I smart enough to get the fuel cap on? I think we are damn dry. So, I'm gonna put 5 gallons of diesel in. It is convenient to have this belly tank here to sort of balance yourself on if you need it. That's not bending today, is it? It's a little cold. And this is clear diesel. Do not be alarmed. Just let that sucker run. Yep, we got fuel to that filter now. You can see it. We'll let it run for a second here. It's running pretty good. So I get the feeling I'm gonna end up bleeding injectors. That's okay. Now we'll wait for it to come out the other fuel filter. We can always introduce air into the system too with my air compressor, and about got 5 gallons in it. There we go. Let that run for a minute. Cool. Smells like fairly good diesel, not awesome. I've smelled a hell of a lot worse. We're gonna let that run a little bit longer. Wish I had more diesel in it just for more pressure head, but that's what you get to work with today. Okay. Somebody has been here before. It's got a block here. Let that run for a few seconds. Pretty red stuff. I mean, it's a little clear because of what I dumped in it, but it's not looking too bad at least. So now we got fuel to the pump, at least. Got that going for us. It's got a little bit of scabbed wiring I see on this. Not the end of the world. Kind of what you'd expect, especially where it looks like it had lights added up front sometime in its life, and kind of sounds like it might have been owned by a cowboy at one point in time. .11/16 does not fit on there nice, but 3/4 is too big. What a deal. Maybe my cheap 11/16 sucks. Okay, we're gonna crack a few injectors here. It's 11/16, not 5/8. Should have brought a flashlight in for you. I have one in my pickup. Okay, maybe it's 3/4. There we go. I think we're gonna crack these rear two, because they're about the easiest thing to get to here out of everything. Yeah, because the other ones are pretty inaccessible currently. See anything?
No fuel yet.
Okay, I just noticed maybe there's dust coming out. Anything?
Not that I see. Stuff squeaking out of this one though.
Where?
Around the pump, there's a
Oh,
little bit of
yeah.
air.
Yeah, looks like you got a return line leaking. So that's, at least we know things are returning.
But, oh, there you go. Now we got some
Yeah, I
moisture.
got fuel on 6. We'll crank it a little bit longer.
Nothing squeaking yet.
Oh, it's because my return is loose. That's special. Wonder if it's plugged or something.
I mean, it's audible.
Yeah. That would also cause me to have troubles building fuel pressure in injectors if that is loose. Right there. little fittings like this are about one of my least favorite things. So, can you just back up for a minute? I get angry with these, so. Let's shut the camera off for a second. Acted like I wanted to run there. Any fuel come out of that at all?
Nope. I didn't see anything move up top either, but. A socket falling off the steps.
Anything
no fuel, nowhere.
Don't have any fuel currently. That's a little better. You just let's let you run for a minute. Maybe I didn't. We'll go grab some more diesel.
Yeah, sorry. Stream.
That's much better.
Yeah, the white one was bubbling.
Wondering if I didn't get it bled out good enough. We still had a return issue. We were still gonna have to fix that.
Yeah. Still a little pink, isn't it?
Well, it should be a little pink. Fuel is running.
Good.
At least. Crank for a second.
Okay. Yay! Okay, you're spitting diesel.
That's good. That is really
And it was spitting consistently.
Yeah, and you can hear the fuel returning inside the tank. That's that noise.
Okay, the suction.
The gushing noise you heard.
Yep.
it runs. It's awesome. Oil pressure, there's no oil pressure gauge, there's the light. The light did go off in the cap, so we know we do have oil pressure because it just closed the switch. So that's good. My current problem is throttle in the cab is not doing anything, but the throttle on the pump is working fine. So I don't know if there's a pin sheared off somewhere in the throttle linkage. That's fine, we can load it with just it sitting at like 1,000 RPM, no big deal. Second problem is I can't make it steer currently. That is probably my bigger issue currently. I actually haven't checked hydraulic fluid yet, but the remotes did make noise, like they cycled, and the 3-point came up, which is a separate hydraulic pump. So I'm gonna check that. I've got 5 gallons of hydraulic oil with me. We can add to it, but it runs. And that's the biggest deal, is the fact that it runs. So we'll grab a funnel and a rag and we'll check oil, because holy shit. It's weird because that part of it works fine. It's like the bottom connection down below the dash is not good.
and the steering is bad or lost line or something. Kind of a fairly common issue on I-8 stuff, honestly. We can get it loaded this way. Would be the first time I've loaded something like this. But I'll have to look into that more. It does run, came out of the trailer. Honestly, once this thing warms up, it might start steering randomly too. I've seen that before. My dad's 966 always struggles when it's. My dad's 966 always struggles when it's cold, and as soon as it warms up, the hydraulics, the steering, and brakes work fine. So we'll just see. I'm gonna stop here and put on the side panels and everything for photos, because you got to get photos of the 6030 in the background, and then we'll try to load it. On the trailer. No steering made that fun. I prefer throwing sticks. Up and headed home. Actually only about a half hour from my home at the moment. As you can see, having some steering issues, need to get those sorted out. Have a throttle issue that we need to find. I really think it's a sheared off pin on the U-joint underneath the dash or something, because everything else moves properly, just the lever doesn't do anything up in the cab. So steering, those MCV pumps like to bleed back. There's no ring in there that sometimes lets fluid by. We'll investigate that more as well, and probably change the filter on it when I get it unloaded tomorrow, and hopefully get it closer to, you know, running driving tractor. But we'll get home, unload tomorrow, and go from there. Well, I was about to unload this thing, and we have steering now. That's kind of what I figured. It just bled back, so that makes me feel a hell of a lot better, and it feels like I got brakes now. I could still really use a PBR at this point, but steering's got a little play, but I've seen a hell of a lot. I mean, that's actually pretty tight steering for an international. So, yeah, I'm gonna back this thing off, and we might pull this cowl cover off and see if I've got an issue, what my issue is with the throttle linkage. But tach's working in here. Didn't even take a look at that yesterday. Looks like the amp light turned off, so we're charging. Air filter gauge seems to be working. That's corn. I didn't even realize this had step road on it here. Well,
one of those too, honestly. But I actually threw some blocks behind the tires and in front of the tires here before I started it. So I didn't know how this would react, but we'll pull those blocks out and drive this down now, I guess. A lot easier than I thought this was gonna be with no steering. Down off the trailer. Still need to figure out throttle linkage. Brakes and steering are working fine now. Haven't heard the turbo whistle yet, but I haven't really revved it up that high. But I figured we'd walk around this girl while we're standing here. We'd look her over as it is. As you can see, paint is thin in the key spots, like right there, like somebody tried to sand this girl out and decided that was a bad idea. But I don't know, we're gonna mess with this some. It looks like it's been repainted twice to me. Because the red here and then another red, and I assume there's gold underneath that right there. I don't know. It might just say red too. I mean, also here this white. I mean, we got two colors of white going on there, obviously. So I don't know. But we'll work at it. I got time. This thing's not going anywhere anytime soon. Belly tank, I looked earlier, actually still has some diesel in it, and that's kind of funny. Cool that it's still on the tractor, not leaking yet, but I probably need to pull it and clean it off really good. The biggest flaw is that the cut-off axles. Somebody puts the old gas axe to it on both sides, and you know, I think honestly if I find a parts 1466 or 86 or something, we'll just rob axles and swap them out. But she looks pretty good. It's got this interesting drawbar on it here that I think is, well, I'm pretty sure it's custom made. Somebody put on here. It's kind of different. The drawbar's original, but it rotates here on this weird pad. Maybe this is a 1456 thing. I've never been around one, really paid attention to one, but that weld there doesn't look so factory. So I don't know. We'll do some more investigation on that deal. I did kick the PTO in and that spins. It probably was a single PTO tractor from the dealership, but somebody probably wanted 540, so they put that in it. Category 3, 3-point. I do have the third link for it, which is great. It does have this cool. Somebody put levers back here to control the hydraulics. So you can stand on the ground and run them, which is different. And then, you know, you can kick the PTO in right here, usually by hand. So that's a little different. You can see this two colors of white again here on the back end. Cut off axle again. She's full of weight. Weight's here. Weight's inside. We'll have to put her on a diet. A little dirty, greasy, grimy. Not unexpected. We can figure this out. We'll mess with it some. It's cool. You can still read the demonstrator right there. Hydraulic seat, I was playing with that. If it does go up and down, at least it did for me. Two remotes up here in the cab. Yeah. Swamp cooling, I'm probably just going to take off and put a block-off plate in for now, because I don't really want a swamp cooler on top of my tractor. Just one more thing in the way. But sheet metal's straight on it. Put the budget for 9, so if every 1456 should. So that's only going to want that at some point in time. It is sitting here idling, sounding pretty healthy. We'll just have to mess with it. It'll be a project that's around here for a while. The tombstone seat is really nice and intact still. Not perfect, but those seats are expensive. You got to find one. I can get armrests. That's easy enough. It's the cushions that are the bastard of that deal. Enough Bud Light and PBR and Miller getting a draft can. Kind of cool that the evaporator is Plainsman from Plains, Kansas, which is never heard of that before, but doesn't really shock me. I haven't really looked. Let's go around the other side and see if it says demonstrator over here too. It does. It does say demonstrator right there. So that's really cool. I think I'm gonna open up the doors, empty all the trash and carpet and anything I can out of the cab, and then probably get out a power washer and go to cleaning, I think, because it's pretty greasy grimy overall. Still really cool. And the front tire, this one's an 11L15, and that one over there is a 1016. And that would explain why I was having trouble turning right yesterday to get it on the damn trailer. But I've got 1016 somewhere around here, I'm sure. Off an 806 I could probably put on. Would rather have this thing on 1116s, I think. Not sure what to do on the back tires yet. Need to see if these rims here are 16-inch wide or 18-inch wide, because for some reason these tires look a little spread out wide, which would indicate that somebody put 18.438s on where 20.838s should be, but it doesn't look too bad. It's still got the tools inside the wheel there to unlock the wedges, or get the wedges undone to change the spacing, which is good because they're different from like a 1066, 856 and whatnot. Need a meter there for sure. But I'm gonna start emptying out the cab here, and I think that's the end of this video for now. It's a cool tractor. Really tickled to have it here. It's gonna look really good with my 1206 Wheatland and my 1468 in the herd. There'll be plenty more updates on this over time.
So thanks for tuning in for this one, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you like this. If you want, what do we do with it? Do you have any good ideas on how to fix the paint, like to get it back, to uncover the gold? Because I could use some tips and tricks probably. But you guys have a really good weekend. It's February 29th now, so happy leap year, I think. And we'll be doing something cool next time. We drug this one out of a barn this week. Why don't you go drag something out of the weeds and get it running?